Hello again, I'm Josh from the Wine Tastings Guide, and I've got another wine tasting here for you from my cellar that I'm trying to thin out a little bit and drink some of the wines that I've had for a while. This is another red Burgundy from Domaine Ponsot, which is a very famous vineyard producer for, well, not vineyard, but producer in Burgundy, particularly in the Côte de Nuit. They're really known for a lot of different wines, but really the kind of the pinnacle is that they're famous for is the Clos de la Roche, which can unfortunately set you back several $100s a bottle even for a newer vintage. And whereas I don't really have the occasion very often to splurge for a wine of that level, he does make some very excellent wines at lower levels as well. This one is a Gevrey-Chambertin. It's called the Cuvee de la Belle from 2002, so it's about 14 years from the vintage now. And this is a village level wine. Of the higher level wines of Burgundy, in case you don't know, the wines are all named for their place. The red wines are all, in the Côte d'Or of Burgundy, they're all 100% Pinot Noir, so it's the same grape, but they're named for the different sites and villages that they're grown in the different vineyards. The lowest level of those wines are the village wines, which are just named for the whole village, which is this. Gevrey-Chambertin is the name of the village. Actually, Gevrey is the name of the village. They tag on the Chambertin because it's the name of one of the most famous Grand Cru vineyards in that village. So this is from various vineyards within the Gevrey-Chambertin appellation. The next levels up are the Premier Cru, which is named Gevrey-Chambertin plus the name of the actual vineyard. And then the top level wines, like the Clos de la Roche that I mentioned earlier, are Grand Crus, which are the most prestigious, sought-after sites that can be very expensive, but they can be very special if it's from a good producer who grows the grapes well there. So we're going to give this a try, and let's see how it's turning out at this point. Let's see. So far I haven't had any corked or otherwise cooked or other wines from my cellar. Hopefully we'll keep that going. Does not smell cork, smells good. The first thing that I noticed, it's really got quite a vibrant, kind of forward, reddish fruit kind of character to it. Although it's got a fairly dark color, it's like strawberry and raspberry kind of bright fruit coming out. That is quite ripe, not like California, jammy kind of ripe, but for Burgundy quite ripe. 2002 was a pretty ripe vintage. Not overly ripe like maybe 2003, which was a little more one of those, global warming kind of very hot summers, but a nice balanced ripe wine, and you can smell it right off the bat. It does have, the other thing I'm noticing, it's got this nice kind of woodsy complexity to it, almost, I would say, like you're walking through the woods and kind of crunching on leaves, and you have this kind of, not green or vegetal, but kind of aromatic plant material kind of smell. That's really lovely. It kind of it adds to it's almost like you're picturing ripe strawberries along with, in the strawberry field that the green herbs and other things are growing in. Yeah, very nice. I wouldn't say this seems very mature yet, or at least advanced. I think it smells like probably similar to it did when it was even a lot younger. Maybe it was more primary in just the fruit before, but to be honest, I didn't taste this wine young. This is the first time I'm tasting this vintage of it. Ooh, that's quite good. Again, there's these nice juicy ripe fruits. Again, really well balanced, not jammy kind of sweet fruit, but it's kind of this bright, I would say more raspberry in the mouth, with a nice little zing of acidity on the end, and also some very fine minerality. That, Gevrey is known for sometimes being a little bit big, and some people describe it as a muscular or a little more burly of a wine, and you get that. There's definitely a firmness to it, but the texture of it is quite fine, surprisingly. For a village wine, I feel like it has a very nice texture to it. Yeah, very fine, very pure red fruit flavors. Again, I think this is very young. It's very approachable, it's delicious, but I think it'll develop more complexity of other flavors that come out. You get in older Burgundies, the other kind of mushroomy and other things that come out. with age, but it's already got this nice, meaty, and bright red fruit with little hints of those, like I said, those woodsy and herbal kind of aromas that give complexity to it. And it has quite a nice, long, soft finish. It's not really holding anything back. It's just maybe hasn't developed some of the aromatic and flavor complexity that it might have even a few more years from now. Unfortunately, I think this is the only one bottle I had, so I'm going to have to enjoy it. I'm going to sip it over the next few hours and see how it changes and opens up. But already, I'm starting to notice some things like almost like a mushroomy, I mentioned that, kind of a mushroomy meatiness to it. Not quite like a meat kind of umami flavor, like it doesn't have, some red wines can develop more of an animal, meaty, and sometimes even kind of iron blood kind of aroma or taste to it. This doesn't have that. It's more like, again, undergrowth in a forest, like mushrooms and things like that, which I really love that in Burgundies when that starts to come out. I think those may be secondary aromas that have developed in the bottle, and it's very nice right now. Cheers, until next time.